And we are live the first time of 2024. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's the list stream, baby. We out here. We out here. Hi. Hello. I am Crumb Chocolate. This is the homie Sharpie Charlie. We are Shades of Blue. How's it going, my brother?
Life is good, man. Happy to be in 2024. Happy to be back. Talk some good footy, meet some cool people. See your wonderful face.
Oh, thanks,
Last time I
man.
saw you, it was that weekend game. I think we did a pre-match show with the Marvel
Yeah.
comment. Like that was hilarious. So yeah, so it's nice to do it on the other side. In January.
uh, yeah, honestly, putting all of the City players' faces on the Marvel hero, like putting Rodri's face on Hulk, was so fun. That when it's editing and it's a good time, is it really work? You know?
If you all don't know what we're talking about, check our Twitter account at Shades of Blue Pod, and you'll see the video where Kronk and I were doing a pre-match show. It was against Sheffield. Who cares? So we just started talking
It was
about,
vibes.
after comment, what city characters, what city players are Marvel heroes, and you'll see that we had a good time.
It was a great time. We got football back again. It's Huddersfield. Also, shout out to Andy Takes the Chance, Johnny, for coming on yesterday. We had a nice discussion. Let me know everything about Huddersfield, about their fandom, the history, the team, the manager, tactics, the rivals, who the rivals are leads. So I was like, okay, I like you guys even more because I don't like those people. So this is great. Yeah, this is this is great. How are you feeling about this Huddersfield match? It's the lit stream, so I'm setting you up to say something egregious.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. Again, if we like, I was disappointed that we didn't get three against Sheffield. 3 goals is my minimum when we play very low teams. And this team is not a Premier League team. So I expect with whoever Pep puts on the pitch that we score. I want 4 goals. I want a 4-0 win. I won't be disappointed in three. Two will make me a little upset, but I want four. Let's just run the numbers up.
I legitimately think I'm if we don't score more than 3 points, I might throw a literal tantrum just to like troll on social media because I told you 2024 I'm making art. So am I
Yeah,
serious? Am I joking?
we don't know.
I'm 100% here to make fun of myself. It's gonna be a great time. Um,
Yeah.
Zach, I see you joined us. If you want to get your name on, you have to register. If you hit the home in the bottom left, you just have to hit your name and email. Let me just say that before he hit it and disappeared. It's time to bring our first guest up. Uh,
Let's get it.
he was actually one of my first footy thread connections. Shout out to him. And yeah, it's been great getting to know him. Invited him on a guest before I even like really looked into the most dope things that he does, and he does some most dope things. I'm very much excited to talk to him about it. Nico, Calabria, did I say it right? Did I say it wrong? How do I
Yeah,
say
yeah,
it?
yeah. You got it.
Boom! I love it. I always feel great when I nail a last name, especially one like I butcher. I put people in trouble all the time because my name is Crunk Chocolate. It doesn't make any sense, so it's easy that way. But how are you, sir?
Yo, I'm good. I'm good. I'm pumped about 2024 too. I got my like. I've been doing some housekeeping items. I was kind of falling apart at the end of the year, so
I feel you.
on the right track here. Yeah, and thanks for having me on the show. This is great.
Yeah, of
Thanks for
course.
coming, man.
Yeah, so I see you got the crutches in the back. You are an amputee soccer player. I would actually like to say a pretty successful one as of lately. Congratulations to you to some of your success. I would like for you to just, this is my time to give you the floor and like let us let us get to know you.
Yeah, yeah. So I was born with one leg. I've been playing soccer my whole life on crutches, and yeah, when I was growing up, I just played like integrated soccer, people with two legs, and made it work like all the way through my varsity soccer season in Massachusetts. I scored a banger my senior year. I was like, I made the team on merit, but like very much bottom of. like very much bottom of the team.
Humility. I love this. This is great.
Yeah.
If you got that banger though, is that something you have on video or anything?
I
Or?
got it on video. It went viral. It led to a Powerade commercial in 2013.
Yo.
And then
Wow.
it was in like the run up to the 2014 Rio World Cup.
Shit.
And the pro athlete on that campaign for Powerade was Andres Iniesta, and I actually like got flown to Barcelona and then like did free kick practice with Iniesta. It was out of this world.
How was that? Let's sit here for a moment. Like, if you're all right with that, like, how was that experience?
It was pretty surreal. I mean, like I was a huge Barca fan growing up. Like I played, yeah. I mean, the dude was. I remember walking in, and the dude was, he's like 5'7" or something, and he's like pretty slight. So I was just like, I was taller than him. I was, 18 years old, and was just like, this is. I almost couldn't believe that, like what was going on, and he spoke no English at all. But I remember, I was just like taking free kicks with him, and he would just be like, yeah, see. That's how he was like communicating with me, because we didn't have a translator or nothing. So it was like, but it was,
Wait, hold on. Let's build this out a little bit, because here's the thing. I'm going to say this for everybody. I love soccer or football first because of those Barca teams. Between those Barca teams, those Spain national teams, like that run is when I fell in love with the sport. It's the beautiful game. And Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets is like my holy trinity. And so to hear that you were on a pitch just taking free kicks with Andres Iniesta, it's just you two. Like, how many people were there? Like, I need the whole like setup. From what you can remember. I know it was years ago.
Yeah, we had there were some. I mean, there was like the camera crew. There was there were like the people that were, I don't know, like guiding.
But no one there to be like, hey, he said, get your under there a little bit more.
He was like, take some power off it, bro. You need some dip. Like, this thing's going over the bar right now. But that was a crazy experience.
That's so cool.
That's didn't mean to derail. Yes.
Yeah, I'll send you the video, but it was like off a corner kick, came to the back post, and I just like high side volleyed, like caught it flush and just put it in the corner. It was it was nice.
Yes.
But from there I like went on to play amputee soccer for the US, and there wasn't like much going on between the age of like 6 when they heard about me for the first time through like a newspaper article until like 16 when I played in my first international match. So like, I just played with people with 2 legs, and then I played like drop forward growing up because I was like one of the slowest people on the field for sure. So I had no defensive responsibility, got to free roam, and then just like led my team in assists like a couple years in a row because I would just play like 2-touch and thread the needle. So that's what I did. And then I played amp soccer, and suddenly I was like one of the fastest people on the field. And it was like, instead of trying to be so generous and get it to our goal scorers, like, you're the goal scorer, dude, like go score a goal. So kind of a mindset shift when I really started playing like amp soccer competitively.
So it's almost like those basketball players who were really short for the longest, and they dribbled a lot, and they had to play point guard, and then all of a sudden they have this giant growth spurt.
Yeah.
So then they're like really good dribblers. So how did you get into amputee soccer? I guess how did you?
Yeah. So, I mean, I was just playing on crutches my whole life. So like, that's how the sport is played, is on crutches.
Yeah.
And I was 6 years old, and there was a newspaper article about me, a picture of me playing in the paper, my local paper. And then the president of the association, the American Amputee Soccer Association at the time, saw the picture, reached out to my family and was like, did you know that this is a thing? And do you want to be a part of it? And, we were like, yes, but no access to the sport whatsoever at that point in time, very little organization. So it was, I just kept doing my thing for the next decade until I played in my first match. And then since then, I've been the captain of the team at the last 3 World Cups, and, do a lot of work behind the scenes to organize and help the sport grow. But it's pretty exciting what's going on with the sport here and around the world right now. I don't know. Have y'all seen much amp soccer like around in your?
Honestly, just the random clips, and never really seen it in person. No.
Yeah. Yeah, this dude. I mean, did you see that? Like an AMP soccer player won the Puskas
The
Award this year.
Busquets? Yes. Yep.
Yes, I
Yep.
did see that.
Yes.
I saw that goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Well,
shared.
actually, my goal was kind of similar to that. Now that I think about it, like
Okay.
that type of goal.
He's like, I did that first. That was me. Like, I did it years ago, and he kind of just got the
I
push
walked.
for it. I just got to meet Iniesta. That was it.
I went to a Powerade commercial. He got the Puskas. It's all good.
Who's
That
the
was
real
that.
It
winner?
wasn't bad either way. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well, Sharpie, you got something?
I had a quick question. So at the World Cups are, and this is again my ignorance. Sorry about this, but are they played at the same sites as the regular World Cups, like same countries, or like is it different rotations? Like, what's the timeline like?
Yeah, same timeline or similar timeline, but it's played and organized like independent of FIFA. So
Gotcha.
it's World Amputee Football Federation is the organizing body.
Gotcha.
This last one in 2022 was in Istanbul, which was
cool.
honestly so sweet because Turkey is absolutely soccer crazy. Like it was dope. I remember like arriving in Istanbul, having like 5-star accommodations, which for us was like not the case for the most part. You know, we had to rough it to make it work. And it was like, wow, this is like so well put together. There were posters up like all around Istanbul. Most of the matches were played in like we played in Galatasaray Stadium. We played in some of the big stadiums there. And then Turkey is absolutely nasty, like best in the world easily. They have a pro league. All their players are pros, and they won the World Cup. And it was wild. Erdogan literally shows up at watches the final match and delivers the trophy to the team. Like I don't know what his title is, but he leads the country, and it was just like, yo, this be happening right now. And they've sold out stadiums in Turkey there. So definitely a model to look up to. We definitely don't have that going on in the States, but
That's
something
incredible, bro.
Sheesh. Shout out to Turkey. Well, I would like to talk about the work that actually I don't want to get away from the work. I want to stay on and talk about New England Revolution and about that and how that cup that you participated in. How did that go?
Yeah. So it was pretty. I mean, it was the culmination of years of work to actually have the cup because, like I said, growing up, it's like we had 10 dudes that were playing AMP soccer around the country. And when the World Cup comes up, it's like, hey, who can make it? Wouldn't this be fun? Like, isn't it cool that we can participate? And since then, it's come to a totally different level where we're like, training on a regular basis and identifying more players. So we've started these regional teams. I started one in 2018 here with the Revolution in Boston. And there's a number of other teams that have gotten started in the last couple of years around the States. So Columbus, Colorado, and New York, plus New England made the 4 teams that were at this first cup in October. So it was like the largest gathering of AMP soccer players in American history. And then, we had like a round robin style tournament over the course of a weekend, like World Cup style group stage. And then we had a finals and third, fourth match. The schedule, it is honestly so wild. I think about this, like the schedule for our tournaments is absolutely absurd. It's like we cram it all in as quickly as we can. At this tournament, we played 4 matches in like 48 hours or less.
Oh my gosh. I thought you were going to say 4 days.
No, dude,
No.
It's like 2-a-days. And it's just like, it's so brutal on the body to like play that hard. And
like for real.
World Cup too. It's like you play a game 3 days in a row, you get a day off, three games in a row. And I'm just thinking like, that's what we got to do to make it work. Cause like for the most part, people aren't professionals. Turkey's like, we could do this all like we can take as long as we want here.
Yeah.
But most of the people that are on the team are, professionals in something else. So, they can't make it work. We can't do a month-long tournament. But at the US Cup, we faced off with New York, who's our rival, and in the final, and we won the cup in the end, and which was sweet, but it was it was an ugly game of soccer. I'll be honest. Like we played a high press, and it was chippy. Like it got real for sure because we're all like a lot of us are on the national team together, and we're homies for sure. But
it's war.
In that game. But it's actually sweet, just like Manchester City related. they had worked with Red Bulls in the past, and just gotten very little traction with that organization. So they were like, all right, well, NYCFC, where you at? Like, do you want to be a part of this in some way? So they wear Manchester blue and are
Awesome.
trying to like take that relationship to the next step right now. But I think that there's some
Hmm.
challenges. I think people look at the Revolution, like the relationship we have here. They've just been all in from the beginning. They're like, this is sick. Like
Mhm.
we want to support your team. We want you to call yourselves the Revolution, and here's some jerseys. But yeah, NYCFC, they can't quite get that yet. So we're
Yeah.
hoping that in the next year they're gonna take that next step to support it a little bit more.
What was who was the person? Was there like a prior relationship that allowed you and the Revolution to like build that relationship?
Yeah, that was. I just been a Revs fan and grew up in Boston, and they knew about me since actually from that Powerade commercial. They heard about me, and I flipped a coin, in 2014 or something. Um, and then when I started the team in 2018, I reached out to them, and they had us out and did a halftime exhibition at Gillette, and then it's just grown steadily from there. So we've just had a good relationship for a long time. And I think partially one of the reasons it's tough with NYCFC is that like Citigroup is like a whole larger thing. Like it's
Yeah.
this large
Mhm.
like organization, whereas the Revs are, you can talk to the Revs and they don't have to go up the chain of command to approve anything. Um, but yeah, that relationship building is just so key. And for amputee soccer, because I mean, dude, we don't have much, so like it's definitely we gotta beggars can't be choosers either. So we take what we can get where we can get it.
I would like to talk before you have to go. The clinics that you participate in and have. I see the photos with you and like little dudes and dudettes. It's like so dope. It's so dope. So I would like for you to give light to that.
Yeah, for sure. That's been an organizational goal for us for a while to get youth clinics going, and we see all these other countries around the world having these large youth camps, and it's funny. I mean, I've played at England a couple times, and I remember playing this kid who was like 14 back, 10 years ago or something like that, and he's a stud on the national team now. And we got to build the next generation. We got a golden generation right now of players who are committed and have been, bringing it from kind of like a volunteer thing and trying to professionalize it. Like I quit my teaching. I was a teacher for the last 5 years, and I quit my teaching job to pursue this on a full-time basis. So we got a number of people who are kind of taking that leap right now. But I'm 29. Like my knee hurts. Like, I don't know how many more World Cups I have in me. So it's kind of now or never for my playing career. But doing those youth clinics and getting to introduce kids to the sport, where it's like, if you want to pursue this at a high level, it's here for you to do. So yeah, it's pretty dope to get to see the next generation coming up and kids to see like, people that look like me can play professional soccer if they want, and here's how you do it.
I love that so
Incredible.
much. Yeah. You got anything else, Rocky?
I'm good, man. I'm just like blown away, and like I got to do
Appreciate
some YouTubing, do some research. Definitely want to check out some World Cup highlights to see
Yeah.
the atmosphere. Like it seems incredible. I feel like I've been missing out, and just as a lover of football, like I want to add this to my list and like pay attention to it and definitely start to follow because it seems incredible.
For sure. I mean, it's great. It was great to connect. It was funny. I just like, I'm not on Threads much, but I started one out and threw something into the algorithm, and then we were able to connect like right away. So that's dope that I got to meet y'all, and you get to have me on the show. And yeah, I'll send you guys some videos, and you can keep up with it. And any question AM
Yes.
soccer, just let me know, and would love to, yeah, would love to stay in touch and just,
Please.
yeah.
Yes.
Let's stay connected, y'all.
For sure,
Yes.
man.
Yes. Well, please plug yourself, plug the things that you're up to, participating, let people know.
I'll keep on it. Y'all to keep doing your thing too. Thanks for having me on.
Yes. I mean, are you up to anything?
Like, what's your
Do you
like
want? Oh, you want to
websites,
like?
tag, all that stuff? Yeah,
Missed that. I missed that totally.
No worries.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Nico Calabria. You can follow the Revolution Amp Soccer team at Revolution Amputee Soccer. You can follow the U.S. team at U.S. Amputee Soccer. You can go to our website, and yeah, there's regional teams that are getting started around the country. So if you want to get involved and check it out, and come to a clinic, we'll get you some crutches. Y'all can play. You can hop up and give it a shot.
Oh my God.
Be a lefty or a right.
Embarrassing.
I'm like bad with 2 feet, so like I'm definitely not sure if you want that.
Well, we can throw you in net, and you can throw an arm behind your back. How about that?
Hey, let's go.
There we go.
Oh, well, please have a good rest of your night. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Take it easy, man.
Yep.
Nice
See ya.
meeting you.
Oh, that was great. That was great.
Sheesh. This man,
Wow.
Andres Iniesta, bro. I can't get past it. I'm so sorry.
There's like that's why I was like, man, you have so much that I want to hear from you, but like we have to sit here for a moment. Wait, what? And then that was just like a hilarious story. Like legit just kicking it with Andre Iniesta. No words, just vibes. The song Usher, how do I say? It's from his 8701 album.
Mm-hmm.
The whole song is about meeting this beautiful woman, but you don't speak the same language, so all you can do is just like vibe together. So I'm just in my brain thinking about them taking turns kicking, and it's just, how do I say hello? I just want to talk to you. How do I say you're beautiful? And I just want to talk to you. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is why
R&B crunk in 2024. Okay.
I told you we make it art, baby. We out here. We're just vibes. It's fun.
All types of art. Yeah. Let's bring on the next guys. Let's do it.
Kevin, Cityzen, Kevin Charlau.
Yeah, I can't correct you because you got to be 2 for 2, so that's close enough.
But nope.
Oh, what is it? No, let's get the right one.
What is it? No, what is it?
It's Charlo.
Charlo.
Yeah,
okay,
but I do got to start this off by like roasting you guys, man. I feel sandbagged. You can't have me go after Nico.
I tried.
You didn't know that was coming, bro.
I tried.
Nobody knew that was coming.
I mean, I'll try to tell some sports stories. So yeah, I hit a 3-pointer in the district championship game, and then we promptly lost in sectionals. It didn't go viral. I didn't win the Puskas Award. Like, what the fuck, man?
You haven't met Andres
Iniesta.
I'm sorry, bro.
I'm sorry. I tried to have you first because I knew that was going to be tough, but once he dropped Iniesta, it was tough. It was just like,
it was over, man. I was done at that point.
This?
Hey, but now that he's gone, man, like, what the hell, dude? That is incredible. And
great story.
With all the bullshit that's said about like diversity, equity, inclusion these days, that is it. Feeling like you can be a part of something that, man, when I was growing up, somebody was amputated, like had an amputated leg. What is recess to them? They don't get to participate. They don't get that. Like, that is cool. That is cool.
Yeah.
And props to all the work he's doing. That's awesome.
Hell yeah. Yeah. No, I was thrilled to have him on. Like, I think, like you, we're gonna have a great guest all 2024. We out here. I actually start with Sporting KC. I season ticket holders. Wow,
my wife and I have had season tickets at least so we've had full season tickets for the last 8-9 years, but dating back to we had a partial pack back in when they first opened up Sporting Park, so Children's Mercy Park. We bought them specifically the year that we went to MLS Cup and beat Real Salt Lake in the final. There's probably video from the side of the PKs facing me, just not facing the field and just waiting for the too many nerves. Also 8 degrees that day. I don't know why MLS continues to schedule playoffs all the way into December. Doesn't make sense, but here we are.
I love it. City fan since 2011. Yeah. I'm always so jealous of people like you who have stories of being I became a fan with a group of friends, so we have this banter and stuff that we can have, and it's just been me.
Yeah, man. So you say that, but my friends talk endless amounts of shit because
your friends are Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool fans. So
yeah, but it was pretty good timing. So we all got together on Saturdays, Sunday mornings, played FIFA, like talk shit, drank before we probably should have, and watched soccer, right? And so they all had established teams. A couple of my friends played soccer at Avila University. It's a smaller school here in Kansas City area. And so they had been they had European teams for a long time. So when it came down to pick, I was like, man, City hasn't won a title in 38 years. You know, they're towards the top of the table at this point, but it's, you know, I kept hearing things typical City and all that. So it was just fun. It was a team that I could pick to talk shit, noisy neighbors, that kind of shit. And it turned out that we won the title, and it turned out that we turned up for the next decade. And, man, my brother is a Gunners fan. I don't know. You guys follow me on Twitter, and you probably follow a couple of the people I hang out with in Kansas City. We have a bit of a rivalry with the KC Gooners Twitter account, where I've told them several expletives after games before. And yeah, I feel like that's probably why you invited me, is just I talk too much shit on Twitter, and that's how I got your attention, but I love it.
Kev is a Twitter legend, yo. Kev is like
how we got
10
on the
City Twitter accounts.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
put up
every day I am
with dumb stuff. Yeah, like there's too many, 12 and 13-year-old British kids that think they can talk shit because you're American, like they know something.
Right.
In reality, like, we know footy just as good as you, and you're a child, so I'll talk my shit.
You're a child.
Like, I love the post today. I think you had a response, a quote tweet on the Guardians thing about like the future of football, and I was just like, because I listen to Football Week, they're hilarious, but like, I was like, man, this guy.
And I've been going in on Men in Blazers, man. It is. Here's the thing, like, I'll give Raj and all those guys all the credit. Like, they are a great gateway for MLS fans to get into European soccer. And then you have to graduate to adults who follow teams and talk real talk. He's talking about like Girona, right? Girona is off to just dreamland. Leicester on steroids type stuff,
legit.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's talking about, like, does the city cash change the story? And it's like, their largest transfer fee in the history of their club is $7.5 million. Euros.
Like, that's what we're saying.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's narrative football, which is, it's good to get new people into the game, but it's something that people need to like drop as soon as they get like more into the game and start to understand what they're talking about, because there's so much good stuff out there that dives deep, gives you analytics. Like, it's not all box scores. That's why we got Ronaldo fans out here always talking about goals when he's playing in Saudi Arabia. Like, I don't have time for that shit either. There's more to football than goals and assists. There's stuff that matters, and especially when you're talking about managers like Pep, Ange, like, that don't play a style of play that it's the pass before the pass before the pass before the assist that creates a movement, and that's the kind of stuff that I like about soccer, is just like the deeper stuff. And love listening to you guys, love listening to Noisy Neighbors for talking shit, but 9320 pod, Crunk, I know you had my boy Asan on. Yeah. Like, yeah, good stuff. Like, that's the kind of deep soccer that I gotta listen to.
Yeah, I get you. So just keep moving down.
Can I follow up real quick while Crunk's looking? Because something you said made me think about it, Kev. I was thinking about how, like, I took the overall, like, hey, soccer's cool, it's fun, I love playing FIFA, you get into it that way. Yeah. But like you said, once I watched, I think it was during COVID, Take the Ball, Pass the Ball. It's the Barca documentary on Netflix. Yes. And it goes so deep into, like, how the game is structured, the ideas of La Masia, like Cruyff to Pep to, like, just everything that's happened to Messi. And once you really learn about soccer, you stop watching the ball. Like, when I'm watching the City match, the ball is the last thing I care about. I'm looking at, like, okay, who's wings, who's giving the width, who's making the runs. Oh, this is the dummy run to give space for this pass. And, like, once you can start to see how the triangles work, or you start to see, like, if you know, like how Pep sets up his practice pitch, right, with the lanes, and you can see the people keep their width all the time. Or like if he doesn't do it, it's like, oh, the tactics. So like tactics are what make me excited now. But I try to balance it because obviously goals are awesome. Like, we love talking shit, but it's like once you learn how the game is played, it takes it to a different level.
Yeah, what's the old saying? You want to watch the game, watch the ball. You want to learn the game, watch Busquets. Right?
That's it.
It's
Yeah.
like I like watching Rodri. I started noticing, why is Stones tucking inside last year, right? Like that was the first thing I was like, well, that's not where he's supposed to be. Like, what is that doing to the defense? And you see those overloads and stuff. Like, it's a simple game that becomes so complex, and that's the coolest part about it. And then, the second coolest part about it is just getting with all your buddies and drinking some beer and talking about it. Like, that's the best part. Like, Charlie, I met you out in Hollywood.
Yeah, man.
Met Tom Baum. He came out to the supporters club in Kansas City. Like, anybody who's listening, Google, find your local supporters club. That's the best part about soccer. We'll be out at the Penny at 8:00 in the morning Sunday drinking some beers, get an excuse to not have to do chores at the house for the wife, that kind of thing. Like, what's wrong with that? There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Tom told us to let you know he's on the way. He's coming back.
Yeah.
So
I heard
so
he's coming. He's coming back from Denver full time back to KC.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he'll be. If he skips any weekends, I will tattle on him on Twitter. I will let you guys
better let us know.
He gets an extra hour of sleep now. He has no excuse.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the cool. So we started the club last year. There, a buddy of mine is from Manchester. Moved here like 12 years ago. So his dad's a season ticket holder. I went over in earlier this year in November, and went to the City Brighton game and hung out with his dad, and a few friends went to the game. We started last year. We've got like 50 paid members. We do kit giveaways like 12 times a year. Got Kansas Cityzen scarves. Like, it's just, you go to any of these clubs, they'll give you some swag. They'll give you some sunglasses, some stickers. Like, it's just a cool experience, and it's an excuse to go drink some beer at 6:00 in the morning.
You can't beat it. You really can't. I miss my Hollywood crew. I've been slow to get with the DC, the Capital City Blues, but the swag is incredible. Like, I got the trouble scarf. We had the meetup. It's been lit.
Let me find something real quick. Hold on. I got something for you.
Okay.
The anticipation is killing me.
I love it. We got a pin.
Oh, no, I gotta find the right one. Oh,
Okay,
it's
that's so much swag.
No, I've got a Chicago one, but I had the DC boys came out to KC.
Okay.
Man, last year. They're good people. Don't be slow to get out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
shame on you, Sharpie.
I have a Capital City scarf right there.
Yeah.
From when I met them in Houston. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good. They're just like, hi,
people. They came out. They brought us like a scarf, some swag and stuff, just like coming out to us. That was a cool thing. Like, I think all these supporters clubs just want everyone to know, hey, we exist. If you're traveling in town, come hang out. I've been to New York. I've been to Chicago. I've been to Hollywood. I've been to Austin. Just anytime I'm traveling local, I just make my wife wake up on vacation early, and she's not super happy about it, but it's all good.
Hey,
there you
go. So when we start doing tours, we'll make sure to write the penny as one of our tour dates.
Word. Yeah. We had 60 people out for the Champions League final, so we'll show you a time.
I actually want to talk about your favorite players, because David Silva and then Ferna second, those are two different energies. So how did Elmed go?
Man, it's like both parts of my personality, probably. Like, Ferna's the guy that's probably drunk at the bar talking some shit, like making sure he throws you an elbow, ref doesn't see it, that kind of stuff. David Silva, man. To me, he's a top 5 player in Premier League history. And I will die on that hill. Like, that, you will not see a player with that kind of tight space silkiness that can also finish, that can get forward, kind of the way like Gundogan used to get forward, like make that final run and be able to make that tap in, like cross, that kind of thing. he was the glue of that midfield, and I will die on that hill. Like there is nobody like David Silva in the Premier League. There isn't a Silkier player. It would have been like if we did get Messi to come over a couple years ago, that would have been the kind of position he played.
Damn. Do you think so? On that tip, do you think Foden, now that he's starting again at the very beginning of his central midfield journey, do you think over time he can get close to that level? Because we know he has the technical brilliance, we know he has the ability. Do you think he can match the output, like the
Charlie? This is the City third rail that you can't touch, man. Foden in the center is, yes, I want to see more of it. Like the last few weeks, he's honestly, this season, he's by far and away our best player, period. Now, KDB coming back makes that difficult, right?
Yeah,
I don't
just
like
talked about that on
the number
Sunday.
game in the middle when you sign Kovacic, when you sign Nunes, you got Rodri, you got Bernardo who plays centrally. The numbers game sucks for him. And I think part of the thing that's like playing like that rivals use it against him, but it's not. It shouldn't be anything used against him. Foden is so good that his best position is wherever you choose to put him on the field. Like that, and whereas other players like KDB is a central player, Bernardo's better as a central player but can play wing. Like you're not going to put Kova, you're not going to put Nunes anywhere, and you have to give them minutes. Foden you can put on the right wing, and he can still affect a game and change a game. And I think that's what's kind of held him back with who we've had in the squad from playing centrally. KDB's injury, you just saw the flashes that show you that he's going to be that for the next 5 years. I just think for this season, the way they're going to make a way to fit him back in is probably shift him outright, but let him try to like maybe cut in a little bit more, give him some free reign to make those moves that him and Bernardo have made where they've kind of switched, in attack 15 minutes here. Now you go play right, that kind of thing. But I want to see more of Phil centrally. It's just, he is too good at that touch turn and go. It's insane.
So fast. It's so quick.
I know his criticism is probably there's not enough defensively to play centrally, but if Rodri's healthy, who cares? He'll clean it up. That's
what the 3-2-4-1's for. Rodri and Stones, or whoever's beside Rodri or Conti, they do the defending, the box midfield. Those two centrals get busy.
Yeah.
I have a dream where like Kevin, he plays like this, right? Well, he just stays out on the wing. He whips in his crosses. Right? Yeah. He overlap. You have the overlap with whoever. So like that gives Phil that space, that inside channel. But he can do anything on the pitch.
Yeah.
Like and when Haaland comes back healthy, those three on the pitch together, God bless everybody. Like everybody knows the run's coming for this reason. Like you can't stop it. It's title.
I'm not one to just be like, hey, bench Alvarez because he's been great as well.
Oh no,
why not KDB playing right off of Haaland, Foden staying where he's been, and Bernardo out on the wing. Whew.
That's all you need. That's it.
We did it. Pep.
I hope you hear this, Pep. Like I hope you get to see this because we just figured out the rest of the season.
Yeah, because you don't even need to, like, we could have this leaky ass defense. Who cares? 2018-19. Let's just score 5 goals and who gives a fuck? Let's do it again. I love it.
Our leaky defense is third best in the league. I just want to put that out there. We're still the top 3 defense and we are leaking goals.
It's because we went from best defense in Europe that won a treble by never closing.
Didn't get shit up,
to this where it's like I will say that little month run where we were just giving up points, that wasn't us. That didn't look like us. So it is what it is. I think we get it fixed. The rest of the league done screwed up pretty bad by leaving us 2 points off with a game in hand, 5 points off now with the game in hand. I don't see how we don't win the league. So it is what it is. Who is shouting me out? Fan 80?
Fan 80. We need you to register, Fan 80. Hit that home button. Register. We can see your name. Or you tell us. It's all good.
Bring all these new people to FanFest. I love this.
And then
you talking about your trips to Manchester, and then you just had to slip in Beyonce, so like that. I'm sure that's probably gonna be good for the algorithm. So let me say that a couple more times: Beyonce, Beyonce,
Beyonce,
Beyonce.
Beyonce, Beyonce. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all my wife. That's all my wife. Shout out to Nicole. Yeah, so she's been to the Etihad 3 times. I have been twice. It is a sore subject in our marriage that might need counseling. But it was actually Charlie. It was while I was on that work project that I met you out in Hollywood. I was tied up in Southern California for like 4 months at a time. Couldn't leave. We had a trip planned to go see a City game. Obviously couldn't. And she was like, "Oh, I'll just plan a casual trip to go see Beyonce in fucking Scotland, like in Edinburgh." So that's normal. Yeah. Like just leave me at work and go to Edinburgh. And so her and her friend went and saw Beyonce, and then swung down to Manchester to see the Chelsea lifting the Premier League trophy game last season. Sat in like the third row. People rushed the pitch, even though we didn't even win the trophy that day. Arsenal had already bottled it. But I told her the only way I'm okay with this is if you knee slide the corner flag, and she did not. So we will enter 2024 going to marriage counseling. So
she could have fixed it. All she had just a little knee slide.
Touch grass a little bit.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, we did go to the Brighton game earlier this year, and then my first game was 2 seasons ago. The year we pipped Liverpool by beating Villa on the final day. Went to the Newcastle 5-0. So I got to go a couple times. Basically, anytime I travel over to Europe or that direction, I'm gonna make sure I swing through Manchester and make sure I hit up the Etihad on the way.
It's on my bucket list. I got to get there. We got to get there, Crunk. We got to make it happen, bro.
Yes, sir. It's very early on the list. I have
2025. Let's do it.
I've been lining up. I've been actually lining up all my tickets because I want to try to go opening week, even though I probably should wait later, but buy a couple tickets. But I have some friends with season tickets that they've been like, "Hey, if you go up there, I got 3. I got 3 friends specifically that I was like, that's 3 hopefully free tickets." So that's good. Nice. And then because I want to go see rugby, I want to do all kinds of things. I just want
I will say I'll
and then marry someone so I can just live there.
Yeah, I'll plug becoming an OSC member as well.
Yes,
that is an incredibly easy way to get tickets. Like now, face value, but I know you guys are all. I mean, I see the Green Bay Packers banner behind you. The prices for City games are outrageous to British people and British people only.
Yeah, but it's nothing compared to that.
It's nothing. Like I think I spent like $250 to go to the Chiefs Bengals game the other night and sit in the top corner for like $250, and I could have bought all 3 of us lower level Etihad tickets for that.
Same, bro.
So keep in mind you got options. If you join an OSC, it's very easy to get over there.
Yeah, I know. I've tried to talk about the whole U.S. versus English ticket thing, and we kind of gotten in trouble. Not trouble, but we just had people who made trouble. So I just avoid that. You're saying be happy about it? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying shit's gonna get worse. So like,
Crunk, I talk shit on Twitter. Like, it's not about avoiding the convo. It's about being respectful. Like, hey, this is a local club that you used to have like $20 tickets, go to home and away every day. Man, you want all this foreign investment? You guys twerking for Qatar, Man United? Like, what's gonna happen? They're capitalism. Like they like that. Yeah. They like that money. So I think it's about being respectful, trying to get your tickets through official channels, and not like I think what they get pissed about is the resale market, where it's like you're in that die hard stand, and then all they see are phones out videotaping the entire game. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't do that shit. Yeah. Learn some chants, join in, be loud, create the atmosphere. That's what City needs anyway.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, please plug yourself. Plug the KC
Yeah.
OSC socials and all those
Yeah,
other
hell
things.
yeah. So I am Casey Kevin _ Cityzen on Twitter. Make sure you follow Kansas Citizens on Twitter. That's our OSC group. We're on Facebook as well. We watch every game at the Press Penny Tavern in Westport in Kansas City. So make sure you hit us up. We do kit giveaways. We try to take care of everybody. We know everybody's name. It's the same group, 15, 20, 30 people every week. Come join us. I'll buy you a beer.
Hey.
Sounds good. I'm taking an invite. I need to get to the Midwest. Missouri's on my list.
You know
Haven't
it.
been. I'm coming
Yeah.
through.
I got family
Thanks for
down
having me,
there,
guys.
so yeah, sir. Have a good night.
Take it easy, Kev.
All right. Well, before we get Zach on, man, this has been nice. This has been great. And then we got just the FA Cup show for Huddersfield. Yeah, it's kind of been really chill.
We're easing back into it because February gets crazy. Champions League
Yes.
comes back. We'll have more FA Cup, Premier League's in full swing. So that's when we get our 2 matches a week. I will say this: we didn't talk about this with Kev, but Kev's sleeves, his tats are
I know,
incredible.
right? Yeah.
I'm gonna have a follow-up conversation with him on Twitter because I'm jealous. Yeah, it was a good look. I'm like, damn, I need to get my shit together. Like that's the goal.
I like, hey, yeah, you're already hitting the gym a lot. You know what would make you hit the gym more? If you had a bunch of tats that really needed to be like glistening and stuff like that.
Like, get right here, like, hey, right there. Let's get it in.
He is handling something. So when he is done handling something, we'll have him right on. I forgot to ask him actually about Huddersfield because I'm sure he had a hilarious, very spicy take on it.
Okay, let's play this game since we got time. You give me. Let's make this together. Who should play? Who should start? Who should see the pitch? In Huddersfield, let's go all 16. This is an Ortega match for sure, right? Ortega Moreno gets to start, 100%, right?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, Micah.
Oh. See, and that's what we were thinking because I would like to see Alvarez rest. I would love to see Alvarez, but that's the thing though, because if you play Micah, then that means he's probably going to end up playing like Jack and Oscar, maybe. Like he's not going to do all youth up there. He's going to have some player that he trusts in there. And I think if he uses too much youth up top, then the midfield will be really serious.
I see rotation. I could see like this, right? If you put, let's
do
go.
You see
Let's say you got, yeah, that's exactly where I was going to go. 27 and 8. I also would take. See, this is the hard part because of the transfer market, the rumors. You want it. This is a perfect game for Phillips, but also if you want to loan him, you don't want to risk injury. So it's not like you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like he's still there. He's not leaving this week. So it's just like we'll see.
Wait, so you want to play like Nunes up centrally and then play
No. I'm just saying like the midfield three in my
just
mind
in
is
general.
like,
Okay,
yeah. Phillips, Kova, Nunes, but up top I would let Daku come back. Like the hardest thing is this: you have players who are training. Do you want to start them? Do you want them to be subs? Because what you might have to do is, we know Jack came off early. You might have to go Jack, Micah, Bob, right? And then in the back line, pick your defenders. Vardiol, Diaz hasn't started in a while. Let him be that solidity in the back. Give Kyle Walker a break. Maybe play Rico as a right back. So yeah, being
able to be like, hey, Ruben Diaz hasn't played in a couple of weeks, so let's play him. Let's get him in. He's been a backup.
You got it. I mean, all of our center backs are veterans.
You're right.
But he's been chilling, so you got to find his form. Stop getting dunked on.
All right. Well, I see he's ready. He's here. I am super excited to have him on. Co-creator of Breaking the Lines. I was actually reading his article about Konate before we went live because it's a good article and it goes like deep into him. I hate that he actually saw me see him as something other than a Scouser. You have me seeing him as like a human now. Like, I don't appreciate all that. But great writer, contributor. football mind. I'm pretty sure he's taking in football as we speak. Shady Gang, give it up for Zach Lowy. How's it going?
It's going really well. Great to be here.
Yes. How are you doing? Am I right? Do you have some kind of like obscure football playing in the background?
I was actually playing FIFA, so
Oh, let's go. Oh, okay, so let's do this. How are you? Are you a FUT person? Are you like do you do cup league? Do you make a person? Is there like a Lowy striker that you're playing with?
like I used to play Ultimate Team back in the day, but not really. I'm kind of a cheapskate, so I don't really like to play.
Respect.
I don't really like to
Respect.
play that much if I don't have people who I'm going to be playing with. But no, I like career mode, to be honest. I've had some pretty dope career modes, like 1860 Munich for my last year for
Ooh.
23. But I do like playing, selecting a player. The only issue is like it's so there'll be so many times where like I'm playing well with my player. I'm getting like consistent 8.0s, and for some reason the manager just like demotes me to the reserves for like no reason. And like I have to sim through a few months and like try to get an answer or something. So I just like at some point I was just like, nah, screw this. This is ridiculous.
This is pain.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Whole world, no blankets.
So if you play someone, what team do you play with? I'm interested both.
Well, my best friend Ryan is a big City fan, so usually he's City and I'm someone else. Like but the other day I think I was playing with Almeria because they're the only winless team in Europe's top 5 leagues, and I was trying to prove to him that he's so bad that I could beat him with the worst team in Europe, which I did.
Oh, you did? Oh my gosh!
I love those matchups. Like playing somebody who you know you're better than and letting them get a better team, and just like randomly choosing somebody. There's nothing like it. Nothing like
But
it.
everybody has their own unique skills. Like he's really good at pulling the goalkeeper out, at which I have like no idea how to do. I'm pretty good at chipping him from like wherever. But yeah, that's probably my main skill as a FIFA player.
I love this.
Incredible.
So, in between everything that you're doing, you still find a little time for FIFA. I love that. I love that because I myself I'm trying to find that like fine line of too much and enjoy yourself. And sometimes I'm just like, I just need to play a little FIFA. I just need to turn my brain out. I just need to relax. So like, bro, thank you. Now you have no idea how inspirational this beginning conversation has been for me.
Absolutely.
Okay. So how did you get into football? What is your like football origin story?
I've always been very much into sports. American football, basketball. But I would say I got into football by playing it actually. As teams, and from then on, I started becoming like really into uh, watching football. Playing FIFA, playing football, and just being up to date with the best players. So yeah, that definitely continued as I started to age. In high school, and I launched Breaking the Lines, my website, which has been really great in affording me the chance to, come into contact with a lot of amazing writers and content creators, and overall produce a very good product on the website.
Nice. Okay, so again, because I was going through some of your articles, where does the inspiration? Because they're pretty in-depth stories where you're getting into, like I said, you're humanizing people, you're getting between the lines, like more than just the football itself. Is that have you always wanted? Is that always been your footballing perspective?
Yeah, 100%. I think that it's very important, to share the human side of the story. And there are so many interesting cases of players who, have really difficult backgrounds, such as Iñaki Williams, or Alphonso Davies. Players who were born in refugee camps. And a side of the story that people perhaps don't realize how much it takes. Obviously, it takes a lot to become a professional footballer, no matter who your parents are, no matter who you are. But yeah, I've always wanted to at least include some basic details that basically allow people to get a good sense of the player, but also what he or she has been through. So yeah, I would just say that my main prerogatives ever since I launched Breaking the Lines, I think, yeah, 7 years ago, is just basically staying away from clickbait and just trying to really cover as many different leagues as possible. Over the past few months, we did a season long thread on the Brasileirao season, covering everything that's
Yes.
there. We've done a lot of other cool stuff. And one thing that I'm very proud of and excited about is our recent SofaScore collaboration. And yeah, SofaScore has really been my favorite app for the past year. So to be able to start talking with them and launch a collaboration with them last month, where they produced these incredible visuals. We just had a really good visual on Victor Gyökeres today. I think that just adds a even more of a professional flair. But we've had the chance to, do some really incredible pieces of journalism. Both in terms of like who's the next big player, who's the next top prospect from some of these niche leagues. Johan Bakayoko in the Netherlands or Joao
Yes.
in Portugal.
Sorry.
A lot of really cool leagues that perhaps people don't have a chance to, don't have a chance to monitor. So I think that's definitely been a prerogative of ours, as well as shedding light on some historical pieces, which people weren't alive for or don't remember. So I think we've done a very good job of that, and we've got some major plans coming up in 2024 for BTL.
Hey, I love that. I love that.
Can I pose a question real quick?
Yeah.
Please.
Gotcha. I was checking out your best summer signings of, best summer signings 11. And I was interested to see, not maybe interested, but can you talk about a little bit about what Marcus Thuram is doing this year? Because I feel like a lot of people don't understand how talented he is. And I think the move he's made has been exceptional.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I would say is I think that it's often the case that you'll see a player raised by a legendary footballer and really struggle to come anywhere near to meeting expectations, right? We've seen that with Beckham and Zidane's kids, and just the standards are so high. So for Marcus to be able to follow in the footsteps of his father, and kind of go in his own path. I remember when he was in France at Guingamp doing fairly well, and then they got relegated, and he went to Gladbach, I think, doing very well in getting them to the Champions League, and overall just forming a good partnership and attack. I think that it was a very good signing from Inter, and I think that over the past few years under Giuseppe Marotta, frankly, I don't think there's a single team in Europe that has done a better job of putting their free transfers to work. They've signed so many incredible players on freeze, such as Hakan Calhanoglu, Henrik Mkhitaryan, Alexis Sanchez. Quite a few of these veteran players who are kind of approaching the twilight of their career. But I think what was rare about Thuram is he was still very much a prime asset. So I think that he's just been incredibly impressive. I think in terms of allowing Lautaro Martinez to shine, allowing Inter to just continually get these wins. Obviously, they were held to a draw in their most recent match against Genoa, but still very much the Scudetto favorites, and in my opinion, one of the dark horses for the Champions League. I think that it's definitely a testament to the work that they've done, that they've been able to lose, Milan Skriniar, Andre Onana, Romelu Lukaku, and still improve domestically. They're not in the Coppa Italia anymore, but improved domestically to the point where they're pretty much they've got the best attack in Italy and by quite some distance. And I think that they are just a very well organized side. And Thuram, I think, has just been extraordinary, considering the fact that he was a free transfer, considering the fact that this is his first year in Serie A. And yeah, quite frankly, he's made Inter fans forget about Lukaku. I remember that hyped Inter Roma match where all the storylines were on Inter fans buying these whistles to whistle
Yes.
Lukaku, but it really hurt them because he was pretty much non-existent for that game. And of course, it was Thuram who scored in the 81st minute to win it. So yeah, he's been fantastic value, and I think that Inter they continue to do a very good job with free transfers. It looks like they're going to try to sign Piotr Zielinski from Napoli next summer. It looks like they're going to try to get Thiago for their defense. So yeah, I think you have to tip your hat to Marotta because they've been dealing with some very tough financial difficulties, and yet they've still been able to achieve so much success over the past few years.
Couldn't agree more. That's why this
Well,
man is who he is. Look at that. If you just
right?
listen to this, you just
Right?
learn everything you need to know about interseason, Thuram. We got future transfer news for summer 24. We're in the winter window. He's telling about the summer. Like, this is why we bring the geniuses to SLB. Thank you, Crunk, for helping all of us learn all the things.
Hey, happy to. What I want to ask, and I want to use your expertise for my selfish city-centric tale. Who is a player that maybe isn't tied to City? I mean, I'm not saying that you know all the people who are tied to City, but who's a player that you watch and you go, they'd be nice on City. I could see them playing on City.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are a lot of quality players out there that I think could improve City. I think that, having watched City for so many years, it's clear that Pep doesn't really appreciate having a big squad. I think it's clear that he definitely appreciates being able to rotate players. But one thing he's done a really good job of is make the most out of those, 15 players. I kind of feel like that was the biggest difference between him and Arteta last season. Of course, having superior individuals always helps. But I think that in terms of players that would improve City, I think it's more important to consider which players do they actually need. I think that goalkeeper, they're definitely set there. Center forward, you've got Erling Haaland and Julian Alvarez, so definitely don't need anybody there. And I feel like in midfield, they definitely could use some work. I think that Mateus Nunes, he's still a work in progress. I've been watching him and really following him since he made his professional debut at Sporting. I spoke about him on Stephen McInerney's channel when they were about to sign him. So I think that he's definitely got some potential. But, with regards to Pep, it's so hard to adjust and make that adaptation, especially going from Sporting to Wolves City in such a short amount of time. I feel like Mateo Kovacic, he's got a very high floor, I guess, but I don't see that much room for improvement. So I feel like they're going to be looking for a midfielder. I think that it's clear that with even with all the talent that City have, even with players like Doku, Holland, and De Bruyne coming back from injury, and even though they are still the favorites to win, the Champions League and the league title, I think that every City's fans, heart would be in their hands if they saw Rodri get a cramp. We saw that just a few months ago, Rodri getting suspended for 3 games, and right, I believe City lost every single match. So they simply don't have that same balance and I guess functionality in midfield without him. He is kind of the glue. I think that being able to find players who are malleable, who are versatile, is definitely a huge. It's definitely something that City's scouting is going to look at, right? If I'm going to sign, a center back, for example, because I think that John Stones is a bit too injury prone, right? I'm gonna look at a player who is capable of inverting and playing in a similar style. So yeah, I think that in terms of players that City could be looking at, I feel like there's potentially room for a signing on the flanks. You look at their players, and quite frankly, I was a bit surprised to see them lose Palmer without a replacement. But you look at the flanks. You've got Foden, who, in my opinion, is definitely more comfortable as a 10. Alvarez, once again, I think more comfortable as a striker. And then you've got, some natural wingers, Oscar Bob and Jeremy Doku. You've got someone like Jack Grealish, who has definitely shown that he has what it takes to fill the need of a Pep player. But I do feel like they are going to be looking for a winger. So, I wouldn't be surprised to see them use their city links, get someone like Savio, or, a winger who I think, similarly to Doku, is capable of taking on his man and dribbling and causing havoc against deep blocks. So, yeah, I think that from City's perspective, I would probably be looking at, a defensive midfielder to rotate with Rodri, and potentially somebody who's versatile enough to pair with him. Because, like I said, I think that as far as the team goes, looking at this team compared to the treble winning side, I do feel like the biggest the biggest thing that City fans are still concerned about is, like, do we have a midfielder who's going to match Gundogan's ability to keep possession flowing, to keep it building in front of these deep blocks, but to also, provide that explosive movement in the final third, right? We've seen how effective he is, obviously in the FA Cup final, but on so many occasions, even if he's not scoring, right, he's making that run. He is capable of holding up pressure and making those simple passes. And I feel like that's something that, City fans have definitely been, some of them have been kind of upset with Alvarez at, which, to be fair, I think that he's a very effective player in the final third, but he's still definitely got a lot to improve on if he wants to make that jump to becoming like the heir for De Bruyne, which, may be his best bet given the fact that he's got Erling Haaland to compete with. But yeah, like I said, I
Good
just
boy.
think City, from Pep's perspective, it's clear that you have to be really good. You have to be really talented to make the step up, and that's why I think City have based. They've had a ton of promising young prospects. I just commented on this today. So many players like Jan Couto or Pedro Porro, who I think, could make the grade for them, but ultimately, they don't want to take that risk with them, right? They don't want to waste their players' time, and they'd rather, loan them out and then make a decent profit. So yeah, I think that a winger, potentially a left back, although I know that Vargil has been used there. Because, we've seen that Pep doesn't really like to use natural fullbacks as of late. I think the fullback he has on his team. So I'm not really sure, like, if he were to find someone and decide I need someone to rotate with Gavargio or Kanji, right? Like,
Mhm.
would he go for a natural fullback or a center back who's capable?
Right.
But that's
Yeah.
what I said. I think malleability, versatility, it's all very important when you're analyzing a player who could make a great at City.
Well, in the chat, Kev, he asked the question of, do you believe that the Kimmich links are serious? Because I think, from versatility standpoint, we know he's worked with Pep when he was younger at Bayern Munich. Do you think
Much
that
younger.
fit could work?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I haven't really given much thought to Kimmich City links, to be honest. I don't know. I thought his contract expires in like 2025.
Yeah, he still has another year.
But I think that's definitely something that would probably be in the back of his head. I think that um, a lot of players, Bayern have done a good job, I think, of keeping hold of their top quality players for the most part, and I do feel like Kimmich would prefer to definitely wait it out. But I think that City, it's clear they've been. You can't ignore the dominance that they've had in England. I think that's something that's in the back of every player's mind. Wanting to test themselves in the Premier League. And I'm sure that if Bayern somehow lose the league title to Leverkusen this season, that may play an impact in his role in thinking, are Bayern the club that I need to satisfy my desires? But I feel like I think that they would probably get a deal done and seal it up. But with that being said, yeah, no, I think that Kimmich in the City midfield would be absolutely insane. I mean, he's not. I think that's probably been the one thing that, like, he's never been kind of a natural defensive midfielder. I remember there was that drama back in like August where, it's some rumors that Tuchel wants a
Mhm.
number six, and then Kimmich said in public like, "I'm a number six," but he clearly he's somebody who's, shall we say, a deep lying playmaker who's skilled in multiple roles, be that right back, center mid. But I think that he definitely needs that partner who's going to shoulder some of that defensive responsibility.
Mm.
Right, we saw that in their treble-winning season when he had, when he had Goretzka and Thiago there. And I think that he needs somebody like Rodri, for example, who's going to hover up possession and not make him be, mainly responsible for chasing down these players in transition and protecting the back line.
Love it.
Shoot, man, this was great. I really do appreciate you coming on. I please plug your socials, the website one more time. Let Shady Gang know how they can find you and the things you're up to.
For sure, you can find me at Zach Lowy on Twitter. And yeah, I have a weekly podcast on Bet Central, Zach Lowy's European Football Show. You can also follow Breaking Lines at BTLVid on Twitter and breakinglines.com. We've got a lot of really good, articles coming up. And yeah, we have quite a few articles about some of these players who are linked with City, like Joao Neves, Valentin Barco. So yeah, when a player gets to that caliber, at that level of talent, we usually are covering him. And like I said, you can check out the other SofaScore graphics we've been posting on our site. We've done a lot of really interesting articles with the visuals on players like Gyökeres and Cameron Archer. So very much
Mm.
excited for this year and to be collaborating with them.
Thank you so much, Zach. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you. You have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Yes. Wowie.
That was
Lit.
encyclopedic, bro. Like I've learned so much. Like that. I see Marlon in the chat just following on X with a plethora of info. I thought I had a brain, but he just goes. And I was like, yo, it's like he wasn't typing. This is just knowledge.
He's just saying the words, and it's just like
he knows the words. He
flowing.
knows this is life. Football is life.
Sounded comfortable saying it. Like it was like, yeah,
it was so melodic. I was just like, please keep talking. It's like, please keep going. I'm just like, wow, I want to know. I saw it on his profile. I feel like a fanboy now. Like, he's in DC. Oh my god, can I get an autograph? Like, I need a selfie. Like, I gotta make some connects.
Some little brain powwows, yeah. See it coming.
Let's get it.
All right. Well, I'm Crump Chocolate. This is Sharpie Charlie. This has been the Lit Stream. We appreciate you, everyone who has been enjoying it on FanFest Live. Everybody on Twitter. Everybody on YouTubes. We appreciate you. Hey, all of you watching the replay. Appreciate you as well.
You're the best.
You have a great rest of your Thursday. We will see you Sunday, because it's not the 6th. So I was like, good, not playing on the 6th. I don't want to like talk about that date. Let's avoid that date. I'll probably stay off of social media, honestly, that whole day. You know the vibes. Shady gang.